Thank you for joining me here tonight. I am on location at my parents' house, and tonight we are working on the Splendid Sampler 2. So we can kind of see a little bit of it here. We're doing the quilt as you go process, and I need to finish putting on our last blocks tonight. So thank you for joining me here. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginning crafters. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. Hey Becky, thanks for joining me tonight. So we are continuing on the Splendid Sampler 2 this week. We were able to quilt this set of 4 earlier in the week, and we've attached it to the rest of the quilt with this sashing piece. But now on the back, we have all these raw edges, and we need to cover that up with this binding. Oh, hello, Tic Tac Faux. Thanks for joining. I am on location. Yes, that's my brother. I'm visiting my parents this weekend, Thursday. I guess, you know, if you count this to be part of the weekend, early weekend. But yeah, so on location today and tomorrow. So tomorrow we will also only be on YouTube here, and then back to normal on Monday. So, all right, let's get going on this. Thanks again for joining me, everyone. All righty. Okay, so you can see some of the quilting here. This is the block that we did last time, or over the past few days here. So it's actually 4 blocks that we sewed together, but we did quilt those. Here's that sashing piece that we used to connect both of these. And again, now tonight we are going to cover up those raw edges. There's that sashing you can see joining that. And we are going to cover this up and stitch this together. So what I'm gonna do is I think we'll just get a little comfy here. I'm trying to remember how I did this last time. It's been a while. I think what I did is I folded this over in my hand just so I could grip everything well. And then I fold this over, and then I'm going to hand stitch. I'm using this stitched line as my guide, and we will hand stitch this down, and that's the deal. You can see this. Here's another one that we hand stitched from earlier. So that's it. That's what we're doing here. All right, so I have with me some thread. So I'm just using the same Aurifil thread that we've been using, just that 50 weight. I know some people like doing hand stitching with 80 weight, which is even thinner. I've never used 80 weight before, so I'm just using what I got. I'm borrowing from my mom today. I got my little scissors here, and then I am going to be stitching with a thin straw needle. So a straw needle is just a little bit longer, or Milner's needle, they're called as well. It's just a little bit longer than, you know, a normal like sewing needle by a little bit. And a normal sewing needle works fine too, but I am gonna use this because I got it here. It's just a little nicer with the needle a little longer. So I think I'm just gonna thread this, and we'll tie a knot at the end and get started. So I didn't actually give myself too much thread here, but that's fine. I can just start another piece when this is done, and then it won't be rubbing through the fabric all that much, so it shouldn't tangle as much in theory. So, all right, I'm gonna start on this side. I think I'm just gonna kind of come up from the back here with my knot, and then, let's see, it's been a while here. I think I wanna come up like so. Okay, this feels funny here. I think I'm doing this backwards than what it is in my head. Hold on. Let's get my brain on here tonight. All right, I think we'll come up like that. Okay, so then I'm gonna come in. Oh, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. There we go. Hold on here. I wanna come back up into this side here. Okay, I will definitely get it. All right, so I'm going into the back fabric and then coming up in the binding piece right on that edge there. Man, like I said, it's been a while since, first of all, it's been a while since we've worked on this project, and it's been a while since we've been at this binding stage of the quilt as you go process. Always takes me a moment to get situated again here. All right, so this is it. This is, we'll be just going along the line here. I think this is actually a little bit thicker than my straw needle that I use at home, so it's having a little bit trouble going through all this stitching. I might have to actually switch to a thinner needle. We'll see what, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I'm gonna either have to have a thimble. Let's see. So I have my mom's little bin here that she made, and it's full of needles. So this is the needle bin. I took it from here, size 3 through 9. Oh, that's why. I like using I've been using like a size 10 or 11 needle. Well, I think we'll just stick with what we got here. That's fine. All sorts of needles. So let me know how your day went, everyone. I've drove all morning, but now I get to be here, so that's nice. It was really fun doing the quilting on this. I hadn't done any free motion quilting in a long time either, so lots of stuff this week that I haven't done in a while. It's refreshing. Actually, I started knitting again too. I think this past like week or two on that sheep quilt or the sheep pillow, and I'm almost done with it. I actually brought it with me so I could finish it up potentially. Oh, thanks for coming, Christy. All right, I'm going to rethread my needle here. Ooh, you guys, I got to see Chad Kitty just right before I came on here. I didn't see him all day, and then this evening he came to the door. He's an outdoor kitty, and he's just kind of does what he wants all day, and I got to see him right before coming on, so that made me happy. Good little kitty cat. But yeah, especially I think now in spring, he's checking everything out again, seeing how things are after all the snow, so he's wandering about the neighborhood. A working cat, he's working at the neighborhood. Oh, so Kimberly, we are only on YouTube tonight because I'm on location. So I'm visiting my parents tonight, and when I'm here, I'm just over on YouTube. So I don't know. Hopefully, some of the Facebook people find us over here. We are just going to stitch this up. I don't think this will take the whole time though, so we might start a new block tonight. We'll have to pick some fabric and stuff. I also brought home here, or brought to my parents' house, oh, Pam says she popped over from Facebook. I brought over the Aurifil block of the month as well. I'd like to lay that out, since I can't really lay it out very well at home. Definitely more floor space here. So I'd like to do that hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. That I won't do here. I'll do that during the day because it would be too dark to do it during the show here. But we'll see. Got some other stuff scheduled tomorrow, but I'm hoping I can get that done too. All right. I just have this kind of folded up here like this just because it's easy for me to hold. I know I think I do this backwards compared to what some other people, how they do this binding, but this feels comfortable in my hand, so I'm sticking to it. Just again, what I'm doing is I'm coming up through the binding piece and then I'm going right directly across from that in the back of the fabric, and then I'm coming back up like a stitch length away, like, I don't know, a little over 1/8 of an inch or so. Probably more than that. Almost 1/4 of an inch into the binding again. And I'm using that stitch line from sewing the front piece on as my guide, so I'm trying to cover that up as I go. All right, so I don't have too much more. I mean, I do have more of this thread, but I'm gonna need more soon on the needle here. There's quite a bit yet, but I don't like when it gets too short. It gets a little bit more curly and, ooh, ouch. I always kind of, once the thread gets too short, I always tend to pull it off of my needle, which gets annoying. All right, there we are. So coming along, I have, let's see, about 5 inches done so far. Oh, Amy's saying, hi all, any chat appearances? I was just saying I didn't see him all day. We got here pretty early, well, for the drive. It's a long drive, but longish. But I didn't see him all day, and we walked outside and all over and didn't see him. But he just came to the door. He's an outside kitty, so he just came to the door right before coming on here. I let him in for funsies, like for 2 minutes, and then let him out again before coming on here. No one else is gonna hang out with him, so I let him out. Oh, Colleen, thanks for popping in over here. I know it's a little bit different over here on YouTube, so I appreciate you popping over from Facebook. Yeah, it was nice. I didn't know if I'd see him today, Amy. Yeah, Gina, I am. This is much thicker than I'd like. So I believe this is probably a size 9 needle. Ooh, I poked myself a little bit here. Ugh, okay, let's not get blood everywhere. I like using a size 10 or 11. So that's a bit smaller. It's like the next couple sizes down. And it goes through quilting weight fabric like this much easier. This would actually be nice for like some delicate embroidery. But yeah, I am struggling a bit with this needle. I'm kind of using my thumbnail a little bit as a thimble here. And actually it's not all the needle, it's that I have all this stitching here, so it's hard to go through that stitching too with the hand needle. So yep, it's a little bit something today, but I'm about halfway through already, so it didn't really take that long. That's just fuzz, not blood. All right, I think I'll go a few more stitches, and then yeah, it gets annoying with the short thread, so we'll get a new thread here. Okay, you know what? I think that's gonna. I'll do one more stitch, and then that'll be my last stitch with this thread. And then I'll get a new piece of thread, just a little longer. A little longer will get me to the end, I think. So I'm just going to tie it in a knot here. Then we'll tuck it in to the back. Ooh, I didn't really do that knot very well, so I'll actually probably come back and do that stitch again. All right. So let's get another piece of thread, but it's looking nice so far. So here's our stitches so far down the row there. About halfway. There, this is a bit more thread. I think we'll be okay now. I could have probably gotten a piece of thread that would have been long enough for this whole thing, but I would have been like pulling my needle way back because of all the thread, and it would have just gotten more, it would have worn down more and more from all the friction of going through the fabric a bunch of times. So sometimes it's nice just to do shorter bits. All right. So I'm going to kind of just come up in sort of the same spot here. I'm going to go in that spot, I think, one more time. That'll kind of get me started here. There we are. All right. Get all situated. It keeps the fabric keeps wanting to bend down like that because this is that applique button, and there's like a zillion layers of fabric there, so it just wants to stay flat. So it doesn't want to be bent like this. So that's why it keeps flopping back down. So you can actually machine sew this too. We did do that for a couple times in this quilt. But I kind of enjoy the hand stitching of it. Granted, it is being a bit difficult tonight, just I think a little bit of this thickness of this needle. And some nights it just feels better than other nights. All right, I'm still aiming for this this stitch line here, especially since it's pretty dark. I should remember that. I switched to that gray thread because I ran out of my light colored thread. Actually, I do have some light colored thread that I've been kind of saving for this project, but I forgot to switch. I forgot to switch that thread over when I switched machines. So I ended up stitching that with the gray thread instead of the light colored thread. So in the future, I just have to remember, oh yeah, use the light colored thread. And actually, yeah, you can kind of see, was the gray on the front? Oh no, the light color was on the front. Oh, but I quilted with the other thread. So it's just when I sewed these straight lines last night that I used the gray thread. For the rest of it, I used the other. Oh yes, Kimberly, this is not on Facebook tonight, just tonight and tomorrow. So correct, it's not on Facebook tonight or tomorrow. I can only do it one place when I'm not at home. At least without bringing like a whole room full of equipment with me. Kimberly, oh yep, 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 at my parents' house tonight. Yep, so if things are looking a little different, that's why. But yeah, so normally I am on Facebook as well. It's just tonight and tomorrow. So next week we'll be working on the April Showers embroidery patterns, and that will be back both on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, Gretchen. All right, we got like, I don't know, 5 inches or so left here. Then I think we can get started on another block, might as well. So I have 1 block done, so I need 3 more minimum before I make another one of these groups of 4. And we need a group of 4s before I can free motion quilt it, so got a while before that happens again. Got some fuzzles hanging out here. Hi, Glennis. Thanks for joining. All right. It was relaxing just to do some hand stitching. That's what I like. I like trading off like the machine stuff for the hand stitching stuff. There we are. By holding the fabric like the quilt like this though, I got to make sure not to go all the way through and grab that other side. Man, I keep picking up fuzzles. Almost done. See, that didn't take that long. This is like a 20-minute deal here. 20 minutes, sit and chill. Oh yeah, so for the, if you guys got the, so we'll be stitching the April showers, and we'll be stitching them on, I'll be stitching them onto fabric. I might actually use some scrap fabric. So the design comes with the bundle comes with the pre-printed fabric. So you can do the pre-printed fabric all as is, or you can trace the design. So this is probably what I'll be doing, a combo of stuff, I think. So you can trace the design onto like a scrap piece of fabric first, and then that you can stitch onto some greeting cards. So I do want to play with that next week too. So I'll probably stitch, maybe I'll stitch like 4 of the designs and cut those out and stitch them on a card. But then I want to maybe trace some and stitch it on a card. It's just so fun, those little craft paper cards, to take some of those spring icons and I stitch them first, and then I sew them onto the cards, like with a sewing machine. So that's how I did that. And I actually traced those designs onto an extra piece of fabric and then stitched them on, just so I could have a little bit more of a fabric border around it. Because if you cut it right from the pre-printed fabric, then your border will be pretty thin, but that's not that bad either. I mean, that's kind of cute. It'd actually be fun to put like a few of them sewn really close to the edge. So maybe we'll do something like that. I'll try and use the designs there, and maybe we'll trace like 1 or 2 of them as well, so we can have more fabric. But yeah, it's just a fun idea. All right, so we are to the end here. I'm just gonna tie a knot. We could do a knicker knot, but I feel like that would take too much brain power. I'm gonna just do a knot right now. All right, and that's that. Just gonna tuck away the thread. Let's put the needle back away just so I don't lose it. And I'll trim that, and we'll take a look. There, we are attached now. I'm gonna try and get you guys up a little higher. There we are. Oh, with wool embroidery with the April showers, that would be really pretty together. All right, so this is our set of 4 that we did this week, and we are now fully attached to this other piece. I always kind of get them a little low when I sew them, I think. So we'll see how that ends up with the whole thing. So here's that sashing piece, and the binding piece that we just stitched on. So that's what's covering all our raw edges. So you can see we got raw edge here. We're gonna have to do a really long sashing piece with a really long binding piece on the back. But it's coming together. it's looking like a bigger quilt, which is kind of cool. Kimberly says, I have at least one quilt I'm going to do this with. Oh, that's awesome. The quilt as you go process. So this is my first time doing the quilt as you go, where we make a smaller unit and quilt it separately and then put them together. It's really nice if you are working on a home sewing machine because you can quilt in smaller batches. You don't have to quilt the whole giant quilt, which is really difficult to hold, and like the neck of your sewing machine might be just a little small. So it's not always the funnest thing at home. So, all right, you guys, I think, why don't we take a look at, well, I have kind of set here what the next block is. So anything that is highlighted, we are done with. Anything that is not, anything not highlighted are blocks that we have not done. So there's a lot of not highlighted stuff here yet. I'm really only a little over halfway through with actually making the blocks. So I've been just kind of going down the list. Actually, we did a few out of order just because we wanted to do English paper piecing and foundation paper piecing. I'm not actually sure I crossed those off, but I'm going to pretend I did. All right, so the next one on the list is this Creative Harmony on page 38. I've just been kind of going down the list. So that's right here, and this seemed like a manageable situation here, I thought. Oh, here we go. Creative Harmony. So it's just like a cute little percentage sign. So I thought we could work on this a little bit. I haven't looked at it at all yet, but it looks like we need 4 colors. So why don't we pick fabric for that tonight, and we can maybe cut a little bit, and then we can work on this tomorrow as well. So tomorrow I will be trying to put together my Aurifil block of the month quilt, at least just putting it in order on the floor. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow, but I'm hoping I can do that a little bit live. So that'll be during the day sometime, I'm not quite sure. But it would be on YouTube, and I would probably say it on Facebook before I went on, I'm thinking. I'm not sure if that'll happen yet, but I'd like to get it together before I leave here. But in the evening, I think we'll try and get a little bit further in this world of this project, Splendid Sampler 2. So I'm pulling all this white out because I think right away, I'm just kind of starting to pick colors here. I'm gonna do white for the background. So this is awfully pretty using a color for the background, but one of my rules for this quilt, one of my self-imposed rules has been whenever there's an obvious background, I'm gonna do it white because I'm trying, that's one of the things with this quilt. I wanted like one of these light colored quilts that had all these white backgrounds with like motifs on top of it, kind of like this guy here. So whenever possible, I am using white. So that's how I'm gonna start out. Here's a ton of little scraps. I'm thinking this looks like it's made out of a lot of scraps. Oh, here we go. It looks like it's made out of a lot of small little scraps, so I think we'll be probably okay. Just trying to Frankenstein it out of here. Otherwise, I have a ton more white, so that'll be on hand. So that'll be the background. Let's see, then it looks like we need 2 new colors. I'm gonna just try and go from my pale colors, I think. So now it looks like we hardly need anything for those, so that might be an opportunity to use some of this fabric that we hardly have anything left of, like we barely have any more of this floral fabric. Actually, that's not a horribly small chunk. That's a bit yet, but I think this would be really pretty because we can kind of call out the pattern a little bit. Ooh, I really like that actually. So let's use this as one of our little squares. This would actually be cute as that little center cross too, but I don't think I might not have enough for that. So let's use this as one of the squares. Oh, we could do stars. Then we got like stars and flowers. That's kind of cute together. Should we do that? Then we have 2 things that, have designs in it. I think that's fun. Okay, that jumped out at me. I like that. And then we need that percentage sign. It's like the sky and the ground. That's kind of fun. All right, what about for the middle here? I kind of want to call out, I want us to focus on these two, so maybe I do the center without us, something that we don't have to pay too close attention to. Like maybe just like this plain yellow or something. Maybe just like that. Or we even have this, maybe this really, oh, we have hardly any of this. That'd be kind of cute though. How much of that do we need, do we think? Red print strip. Ugh, 1.5 inches by 9 inches. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not 9 inches. Let's look at, you know, we could use this. Oh, I kind of like doing this yellow. Let's do this. All right, so I think this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do kind of this yellow. I have a bunch of it, so I know I can get 9 inches out of there. We'll get the 2 squares, and then the rest will be this white background. All right, I think we got a plan. I'm liking it. So let's do that. I'm gonna scooch these out of the way. So I have some cutting room here. All right, I'm also gonna get this other quilt out of the way, or our quilt out of the way, because I don't want to accidentally cut that either. So let's scooch, switch over to a cutting board. All right, and then I got a big ruler that we can use tonight. All right, instructions. I think I'm actually going to start with these two at the bottom, where I'm just cutting out our pretty fabrics, and then we'll do the white last. So all this top measurements are for the white. Okay, 1 navy and 1 blue print square. So those are those. So those are 2 inches by 2 inch square. So we can cut those at the same time. I'm going to do this without ironing, I think. That sounds like too much work. We'll come back to that if we need to, I suppose. All right, so these are such odd shapes. So maybe this isn't a great idea to cut them together, but I'd like to still. Here, maybe we can get like this area right here. There and there. Oh yeah, that's 2 inches. Good. All right, so I'm gonna try and get it out of, yeah, this chunk right here. We'll see how that goes. Okay, 2 inches. I don't have my glove tonight either, so we gotta be extra careful. 2. All right, I'm gonna rotate. All right, and I'm just gonna cut that out of the way. There we go, and I'm gonna cut 2 inches at the bottom here. I'm lining up that edge with the 2 inches now. Okay, there we are. So we're actually done with these fabrics. That's all there is to that. Get little fuzzles out of the way. Okay, let's hope that this worked. Okay, there we go. 2 squares. Great. I know, Colleen, I think she has one somewhere here. I just didn't grab it. So it's here somewhere. I'm just gonna go very slowly and pay attention. Okay, let's get this one out of the way now too. So 1 red strip, 1.5 inches by 9 inches. Okay, 1.5 by 9. Oh, we got tons of this fabric. Wow, we must have got this later in the game. Ooh, if this is 9 inches, that'd be awesome. It looks a bit shy, but let's. Oh yeah, not even close. Okay, so we will get it from somewhere else. Gosh, I might just clean up, well, I could just clean up this edge over here. Just cut myself a totally new straight edge. Or you know what, I might just Frankenstein it out of here. We got a sort of straight edge here. it's sort of pressed. We're just going here. All right, 9 inches. So I'm just gonna cut up to here and about 1.5 inches over, then I'll rotate and then get the rest of this. Good enough. We cut the heck out of all this fabric anyway. Who cares if we're cutting it weird now? I gotta count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. 9. And 1.5. All right. Let's rotate this. And get it right on the 1.5 line and 9 inches. Right like so. Great. All right, did it. Okay, so I don't need that fabric anymore. Good, so getting rid of, cutting those pieces of fabric first just allowed me to clean my little area here a little bit. Okay, so we have, that'll be the, that little cross piece, and then, ooh, we gotta do the stars on the top. All right, so that's a start there. All right, let's scooch all these out of the way, and I'm just setting it up here on the ledge, and let's tackle all of this white fabric here. Okay, and I'm gonna do it out of all these crazy scraps. So let's just go through all of them. So 2 squares, 2 squares that are 4 inch by 4 inch, cut in half diagonal to make 4 triangles. Okay. Well, I'm not even going to read ahead. Let's do that. So 2 4 inch by 4 inch squares. Okay. What do we got here? It'd be awesome if we could fold one of these in half. And well, that one's not going to get us 2 4 inchers by folding it in half. What do we got here? This is a pretty good size, very good size piece of fabric yet. Should we just, gosh, I don't want to waste fabric though either. You know, this is such a weird process of cutting fabric through any sampler quilt really, because you're not making the same block over and over again. You're just making, just different ones. So you got to cut all these weird pieces. So all my pieces are bizarro. I think I'm going to just cut 4 inches and 4 inches. We'll cross cut 2 out of here, and then we'll have a chunk left over to do that. Oh, Linda's asking, do I want to make the white a little larger than listed? So I have an outer edge. You know what I should do is I just should get used to framing them. Yeah, we do have white all the way around here. I don't know. I think I'm going to just do it as is. Like, there's so many extra pieces. I mean, I could add extra on every piece. But I'd really have to, like, pay attention to what piece. Like, this one, I have to be like, okay, well, instead of 1 1/4 inch, I'll make it this side just bigger, but not this side. That sounds like too much work. I think what I'm going to do instead is just make it, and then maybe I can just add a border around it. That I think would be an easier way to do it than to just think about every piece individually. Yeah, that's too much brain work for me. We're gonna just live with the consequences of not doing that. All right, which just means I gotta deal with that fabric issue later of needing more fabric. All right, I'm gonna just use the rulers as a guide this time, so I don't have to turn this around. All right, did I get this piece too? Okay, 4 inches. All right. So now I'm gonna cross cut this. Let's just clean up this edge. Yeah, those edges are close enough. I'm gonna clean up that edge and then cut 4 inches. And then we'll have our 2. And then like all this little extra bits that I'm making, we can cut our other pieces out of. Okay. Oh, it feels good working on another block. I feel like I'm moving ahead. That's always nice, especially with this project. It's just, this is one of those long-term projects that we just work on little by little. Eventually it'll get done here. Okay, so those are our 2 squares, and then we need to cut them on the diagonal to make 4 triangles. That should do the job. All right, so, there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 triangles. Set those aside. All right, what's next? Okay, we got, gosh, these are all kind of different sizes, so I'll probably cut these all individually. So 2 rectangles that are 1 1/4 by 2 3/4. All right, let's just start there. I'm only capable of going 1 at a time tonight. So here's that piece that we just cut. I'm gonna just assume that these edges are lined up enough still. And let's just cut 1 1/4 out of here. Oh, we might actually get, nah, let's just do it that way. Again, too much thinking. 1 1/4, and I'll cross cut this to get the 2 3/4. Okay, and I think we'll use this for the next piece as well. Are these edges together? Yes, okay. Those are 2, so all right. 2 3/4 would be right there. 2 3/4. Ooh, I'm gonna have to keep track of this really well. We'll have to make sure, because some of these measurements are pretty close. I'm gonna have to make sure I use the right ones at the right time. Okay, so we got 2 of these. So these are the 1 1/4 by 2 3/4. Okay, let's set that aside. All right, I need 2 2.5-inch squares. I'm not going to get those out of this, but I can get the next part, 1 1/4, 2 1 1/4 by 2-inch rectangles. So let's trim that, and then we'll get those 2-inch squares. Hey, we're almost done with this. This is great. 1 1/4. Okay, good. All right, let's cross cut those. Not being all that gentle at keeping things together, but they seem to be doing okay. Okay, by 2 inches, so these are smaller. Looks like we're kind of doing a little mini log cabin block for part of this. Okay, 2 inches, 1 1/4 by 2 inches. All right. So not these pieces. These pieces, so I'm going to set those aside. I don't want to mix them. It's about the same size as my scrap, so I don't want to mix it up. All right, we have 1 more piece. I think we can get it out of here. Well, 2 pieces really, but they're 2 2.5-inch squares. So let's just, oh man, this is smaller than 2.5 inches. That's not going to work. So let's go back to this crazy blobby piece and get two 2.5-inch squares out of here. I think I'm just gonna fold these pieces together and let's just get it out of whatever happens here. Man, 2.5 inches throwing me for the size. A lot bigger than I thought. Okay. I'll go to the edge there. 2.5. Let's just cut all the way across. Make it easy for me. All right, I'm gonna shimmy sham this around so it doesn't move on me. All right, and get those guys out of the way. 2.5 inches. This is the ruler I need to get. I need a nice, like one of these OmniGrid rulers for my square ruler. I like this one. Okay. Done cutting. That was not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Well, I didn't think it was going to be bad, but cutting is my not favorite stage by far. So I don't always like that. Let's pretend to assemble this. I'm kind of curious at how this is going to look at. I'm going to just kind of look at the picture and try and give this a go by the steps. So all sorts of pieces here. Okay, so it looks like, I'm going to kind of just look at the design here. Looks like we probably go there, and there, and there. We're making like a little mini log cabin, it looks like. Not quite sure where these go. Oh, then this goes like so. But this ultimately gets cut off. I'm like zooming ahead. Tomorrow we'll actually sew. I think we'll be able to maybe even sew this whole thing tomorrow. I don't know. A lot of it at least. Okay, and then the other square. Oh, well, okay, I get it. I don't know where these white squares go. Oh, at the end. That's where they go. All right, so this will go kind of a continuation of this guy. All right, that's looking like how this is supposed to look. And then this will kind of split this. I think we'll actually do that later. Well, yeah, okay. And let's see if I can go in reverse order here. This guy will go up here somewhere. I'm going to put in these guys first. Something like so. About like so. Little piece, big piece. And then I think these guys just get on the end here for some triangles, kind of finishing off this end here. So yeah, like so. And same thing up here. I think we just sew the diagonal and then press it that way. So all right. So that's the game plan for tomorrow. So that's awesome. So I think we can definitely do that. All right, so I'm gonna actually just leave this right here, and I think we'll call it there tonight. Here, let me flip you guys around. All right, so I just kind of wanted to show you the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt again, just that part that we finished tonight. So this is a segment of 4 pieces. And ultimately, it'll be 5. Actually, it's 8 pieces. Like, if you're counting every single one of these blocks, it's 8. There'll be 10 in each row. So it's 10 by 10, but since we're sewing them in groups of 4, if I think about them as groups of 4, we're just really having rows of 5 groups of 4. So that's one of them, of the blonde quilt. So you can see from here how I have, like, most of the backgrounds white. Whenever it made sense to have a white background. So that is the plan. That's why I went with white for this as well. But I think this is going to be fast. This is going to be a nice, quick sew tomorrow. Gosh, I really do think we can finish this whole thing. Yeah, there's pressing involved, but I think we can do it. Yeah, we'll either do this or Well, we'll see. I do think I would like to get a little bit farther on this though. So awesome, you guys. I think we'll call it there, a little early tonight. Thank you for jumping over from Facebook. I will be just on YouTube again tomorrow. I'm on location at my parents' house. Maybe I'll get to see Chad Kitty again. That'd be nice. So, and I will keep you updated on Facebook if I do end up putting together the Orophil block of the month tomorrow. I do have it right here, ready to go. I would love to get that laid out and at least grouped and pieced, not pieced, but like grouping the pieces and numbering them. So that when I get home, we can just kind of sew these rows together. That'd be awesome. So, all right, have a great evening, everyone, and I will see you again tomorrow on location here. See you later. Good night.